Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very simple, very tasty bread recipe for you guys. Today we're going to learn how to make keto croissants. Very easy, very delicious. And if you want a printable version of this, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciousLowCarbKitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some Amazon affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those Amazon affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and will help to support the channel. You'll also see a link to Jave Coffee. Anytime you purchase anything from Jave Coffee using that affiliate link, a small portion of your purchase will also go to me and help support the channel. And while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Line a large baking sheet with parchment paper. You might need 2 baking sheets depending on how big you are wanting to make your croissants. In a large mixing bowl, combine 1 cup of coconut flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 3 tablespoons of ground flax seeds or ground chia seeds. I use a combination of both here. You can also use psyllium husk powder instead if you prefer the texture and taste of psyllium husk powder. Add a half teaspoon of salt. Sift or whisk these all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 3 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature so that they mix into your dough more smooth. Stir the eggs into the dry ingredients until they're fully combined and all the dry ingredients have been moistened. If you need to, you can use your fingers a little bit and massage the eggs into the dry ingredients so that all the dry ingredients are lightly moistened. Add 1 cup of hot water. Make sure it is hot. This helps to keep the dough soft, which helps you to have a more fluffy croissant once it is baked. I just let my tap water run as hot as I can get it, so you don't have to heat it in the microwave or on the stove or anything. Just very hot tap water is just fine. Stir in the hot water until it's fully combined with the other ingredients. And again, if you need to, you can use your fingers and massage the dough together to make sure that it is all sticking together well. Sprinkle in 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. Yes, you really do need this xanthan gum. It helps create elasticity in the dough, which helps it to be able to stretch better when you are shaping it. If you don't have the xanthan gum in it, you run the risk of your dough tearing when you go to shape it into the croissant shape. Add 1/4 cup more of hot water. Again, make sure it is hot so you can keep that dough nice and soft. Stir the xanthan gum and the hot water into the ingredients for at least 30 seconds. This helps to make sure that the xanthan gum fully dissolves and it begins binding with the other ingredients. Form the dough into a ball and allow it to sit in the mixing bowl at room temperature uncovered for about 10 minutes so that the excess moisture can be absorbed. After the dough has sat for 10 minutes, massage it in your hands for about 1 minute. This is again to make sure of the texture. You want to make sure that the dough is moist but not sticking to your hands and not crumbling. Shape the dough back into a ball and divide it into 2 portions. Place 1 portion onto a clean, lined work surface. Press or roll the dough into an 8x13 rectangle. Once the dough is rolled out, cut the dough into triangles that are roughly about 4 inches by 8 inches in size. The easiest way to do this is to use a ruler or some type of measuring stick, and at the bottom of your dough, measure 4 inches across and make a little cut or a mark there so you know where the 4-inch mark is. That's going to be for the base of your triangle. And then on the opposite side of the dough, measure about 2 inches in. This is going to be for the center point of your triangle. And again, make a little cut there so you can know where the 2 inches is. And then use your knife and cut from the 2-inch center point all the way down in a diagonal line to the mark where you made that 4-inch base. Then you're going to repeat this measurement, except for you're going to do it on the opposite side. So instead of making your 4-inch mark on the bottom of your dough, you're going to make your 4-inch mark on the top of your dough, and then make a 2-inch mark on the bottom of your dough. Use your knife and cut a diagonal line from that 2-inch center point to the 4-inch mark on your dough. And you're going to repeat the cutting process until all the dough has been cut into 4-inch by 8-inch triangles. Now, if you are planning to put any type of stuffing in your croissant, you may need to make them just a little bit bigger depending on how much stuffing you're wanting to put in there. One thing you want to be careful of is you do not want to overfill the croissant. This is a very fragile and very light dough, so it can easily be torn when you are trying to shape it. So be careful, you don't want to overstuff it. And if you are stuffing it, you may need to use the parchment paper to help you roll the dough over the filling. The parchment paper will act as a little bit of a steady surface when you're trying to roll it over your filling. Then you're going to repeat the rolling and cutting into triangles process with your second portion of dough until all the dough has been shaped into your desired size of triangles. Then very carefully take the base of the triangle, which is the widest part, and roll it up towards the point of the triangle. Be careful as you do this. You want the dough to stay smooth, and if any cracks do form, just dampen your finger very slightly and rub the crack out of the dough. Repeat the rolling up process till all the triangles have been rolled and place them on your prepared baking sheet. Repeat the rolling process till all of your triangles have been rolled. Then place the croissants onto your prepared baking sheet. Place them about 1 inch or so apart. These really don't rise or expand very much because they are gluten-free and they are made with coconut flour. And we've talked before how coconut flour really doesn't rise or expand very much. So you don't have to leave a whole lot of room around them, but you do want to leave some space in between them because this will give you an even heating distribution around the croissant, which will help it to bake more even. Then place the croissants in your preheated oven and bake at 400 degrees for 13 to 15 minutes or until they are golden. Once they're done baking, remove them from the oven. They will still be a little bit soft, but they will firm up as they cool. So allow them to cool on the pan for at least 10 minutes or until they're firm enough to be removed from the baking sheet. Once they've firmed up, if you're planning on slicing them to use them like a sandwich roll or anything like that, then you need to transfer them to a wire rack and allow them to cool completely before you slice them. You don't want to slice them when they are warm because you run the risk of them crumbling on you. Otherwise, after they've sat on the baking sheet for 10 minutes, you can serve them warm with some melted butter, or I use melted garlic butter, or a dipping sauce of your choice, or you can just brush the tops of them with some melted butter, however you choose to eat them. That is up to you. If you do have any leftovers, make sure they're cooled completely and store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days. Or if you don't think you're going to eat them within 3 days, you can freeze them for up to 1 month. If you do choose to freeze them, then before you put them in a freezer-safe container, place them on a baking sheet and freeze them for about 2 to 3 hours or until they're frozen solid. Then transfer them to a freezer-safe container. This will help avoid the chance of them sticking together. Eat and enjoy.
And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.